Hello, ladies and gentlemen. As the title reads, this is a report on Native American religions. The topic of Native American religions is very broad. Includes many tribes with separate views, beliefs, and stories. So, to narrow it down, this report is mainly on the Navajos and the information which could be gathered, as Native Americans are quite secretive about their religious practices, but are very open in the ways that they worship. If you are confused by this statement of practice and worship being contradictory, well, I state religious practices as the ceremonies and festivals, and worship in how they practice their beliefs day to day. And honestly, it's truly fascinating. The Navajos originated and occupied the lands in the states of California, Arizona, Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, and Colorado. At the point of their occupation, these states were not a part of any other country, but then were a part of Mexico, until the United States took the land. The photos which are depicted were how they occupied between the four states of Arizona, Utah, New Mexico, and Colorado after the states had created reservations for them to live in. Between these four states of Arizona, Utah, New Mexico, and Colorado was the location of their tribe. Now their tribe in 2015 stands with 300,460 members and is the second largest tribe in the United States. Now, stories were very important to all Native Americans. This was a way of passing history, belief, culture, and education through the generations. The Navajos had many stories, but it was actually all just one long story. One really long story. And it was called Dain Bahain, which translates to the story of the people. So, important information on things which people did question back then were covered in this story, such as the multiple worlds and how this world that we exist in came into existence. It also covers the creation of the sun and moon and sickness and death. This story is the fabric of the culture and belief of the Navajos. So depending on the source you go off of, the religious leaders of the Navajo were known as Navajo singers or Navajo medicine men. These people are not shaman, but were a type of priests which told the stories of the people and upheld tribal traditions. They also helped those who were sick by healing them through tribal medicine and practices. Of course, non-disclosed to everyone else other than Navajos. Now we get to the difficult topic, festivals. So like I stated in the intro, the Navajo were quite secretive about their ceremonies and festivals. So, of the information we found, there were more than 50 ceremonies, and they were overseen by a Navajo singer or medicine man. Honestly, it truly depends on the source, where you got the names from. But these ceremonies were first led by a summoning of the Ye, which is a special class of deity to oversee the ceremony. And then the ceremony is done, as in it will continue on from there. And these ceremonies are the ceremonies of the Navajo. Now we get to a really interesting topic about the Navajo. The Navajo do not have any formal form of day-to-day worship. Now take a listen to this.
You think you own whatever land you land on. The earth is just a dead thing you can claim. But I know every rock and tree and creature has a life, has a spirit, has a name. You think the only people who are people.
This song, even though from a cartoon, is quite a good song to describe the beliefs of the Native Americans. And what the Native Americans generally believe is animism. The traditional Navajo way contains no concept of religion as an activity, which is separate from daily life. Navajo religion has been described as life itself, the land, and well-being. All living things, people, plants, animals, mountains, and the earth itself are relatives, each being infused with its own spirit or inner form, which gives it life and purpose within an orderly and interconnected universe. The interrelatedness of all creation is recognized through daily prayer offerings and elaborate systems of ceremonies, such as stated before in ceremonies, which is not actually shared with us. The purpose of Navajo life is to maintain balance between the individual and the universe, and to live in harmony with nature and the Creator. Honestly, this to me is so interesting. This belief in interconnectedness is amazing. The Navajo also don't like talking about death, but they assume that the soul of the dead moves on to another part of the universe, where their existence is just to carry on their everyday activities in that part of the universe, like they were still alive. In this, they don't truly have punishments for the dead or an afterlife. Their soul just continues on.
Hi, I'm Nick K. For this presentation, my opinion is Native Americans are very friendly and kind. They will stick to the nature. This is their purpose of their religion. So like, because they believe that nature gives them shelter and food, and they must be kind to nature, so that the nature can give them more food and something else.
Hello guys, I'm Chiseng. Today I'm giving away my opinion about Native American. So Native American religion is hard to explain. They have their own belief, though many of them were similar in their major aspect. Native American religion tends to focus on nature. For example, the landscape, plants, and animals were playing a role in their religion of Native America. The thing that I admire them are like they are included in number of practices, ceremony, and traditions.
According to my research, I found out that I like the Native Americans' belief more than I like the other religions such as Christianity. I like their beliefs because they depend more on nature instead of God. They believe that everything that humans need can be found in nature, and human is part of nature. Unlike Christianity, Christianity believes that everything is created by God and God is the answer for everything. So yeah, I think that what the Native Americans believe is more realistic instead of believing something that you can't even see.
In my opinion, I think Native Americans are good because they have several similarities like Christianity. Native Americans and Christianity believe in humankind and the love for God. In Christianity, God is not one being. He is one of three, but at the same time, all of them. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. This means that God is within all and to love God is to love all. This is quite similar to the Native Americans' belief, which is that all beings have a spirit, which is a part of the Great Spirit, and to love all is to love myself and the Spirit.
Hello. I'm here to give my opinion on Native American religion. I mean, I've given it partway through the video, and I've stated that I find it very fascinating about the way that they have that interconnectedness with like everything within the world. But not only that, but also their concepts of the soul living on and being eternal, and also on top of that, their stories and miscellaneous other things. It makes me feel like it's a very complete religion which allows yourself to be fulfilled completely. And that's my opinion on it, being a free thinker and not actually having any religion that I prescribe to in any way whatsoever. So I think that Native American religion is really good.